Greetings. I'm Samuel Gladden, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, Education, and Human Development here at the University of New Orleans. It is my pleasure today to visit with our campus's interim president, Dr. Jeannine O'Rourke. Dr. O'Rourke is not only our leader, she is one of our alums as well, having received a Ph.D. in higher education from the University of New Orleans. She is one more demonstration that our alums go on to great things in their careers. She did it, and you can too. Meet Dr. Jeannine O'Rourke. President O'Rourke, thank you so much for joining us today in our series of spotlights on alumni from the College of Liberal Arts, Education, and Human Development.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here, Dean Gladden, excuse me.
It's great to have you. So tell us a bit about your educational journey. What drew you to UNO? What was it like to be a student here?
Oh, my goodness. Now, of course, it was a lifetime ago. I started many, many years ago here at the University of New Orleans. And what attracted me most to the graduate program that I pursued was the affordability and the caliber of faculty. And of course, the focus in my area of interest in all three of those pillars is what drew me to the University of New Orleans to pursue my PhD. And I have not regretted that decision since.
That's wonderful. So what is it like being back on campus, not as a student, but as the top leader at UNO?
Oh, I tell you, I've been here since July 1st and we're closing up the October month. So 4 months almost. And it has been one of the highlights of my career to be back at my alma mater, to be able to serve her, an institution that had provided me with so much in regards to what I learned in the classroom and outside of the classroom as well. And to be back on a campus with students. It's been many, many a year since I worked at a university, having transitioned to state government and to management board activities over the last 8 years. And so it is It just has given me more energy and brought me back to my purpose of why I am in higher education. And of course, first and foremost, that's to educate the students of the great state of Louisiana.
That's great. So how did your work in your graduate program here at UNO prepare you to enter the career field of higher education?
Well, when I started, I worked in private sector for a while and realized that it wasn't for me. I wasn't really a bean counter, and I wanted to go back to higher education. And started looking at jobs and realized if I wanted to move to a level that I hoped I would achieve one day, I had to go ahead and pursue my PhD. And so that's why I enrolled here at the University of New Orleans. And I started that career in student life and then moved on into academic affairs. And the coursework that I taught, the colleagues in my cohort, many of them, and I graduated in 2001. You all can do the math. Makes me feel old, so I'm not going to. I still remain in contact with, and they too have moved up into higher education in very elevated fields in different areas. And so to have them to still lean on all of these years later for advice, I have benefited from my colleagues that we pursued through the program together, tears and smiles and all of that in between. But then, of course, it was what I learned in the classroom and the faculty that were just so superior that taught it to us, not just from a textbook standpoint, but conversations and discussions and dialogue and just breaking it down and putting it back together and really massaging your brain. That I took all of that information with me and continue to still tap into it all these years later.
That's wonderful. So a community both on campus and in the years after you left campus. That's terrific.
Yes, sir.
So when you finish service here as interim president, you'll return to your other role, which is provost for the University of Louisiana system. Tell us a bit about what a provost is and what a system provost does. People often don't know much about provosts.
They don't, and on occasions it varies. Some days I do windows in the building. I'm kidding. But the University of Louisiana system, we manage 9 public institutions here in the state. We enroll 92,000 students, so we crank out the most graduates here in Louisiana, and we're the 13th largest higher education enterprise in the United States. So it's a vast, vast enterprise, and it's so very important to the state of Louisiana. We graduate the most nurses, we graduate the most accountants, and so on and so forth. And what a provost does is, overarching speaking from a 10,000-foot view, I guess you could say, is I oversee all of academics for the 9 institutions. When it comes to academic planning, accreditation, any new programs that universities want to offer, we help champion that and negotiate that approval process, policy that adheres to faculty, and then anything in that realm of the faculty side of the house, in ensuring that promotion and tenure is observed, and grievances are adhered to, and all of that practice and policy that our institutions utilize here at the campus level to ensure there's order to the enterprise of higher education. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So in your time you've been here as interim president, what have you learned about UNO that you would like to share with our current students or students who are thinking about joining us?
I tell you what, there, like I said, I graduated in 2001, so a lot has changed, but a lot has remained the same. What has remained the same that I experienced as a student so many years ago, and what I've experienced as being interim president over these last 4 months, is the dedication, the service, and the commitment of our faculty and staff here at the institution. These individuals understand the purpose of their work. And that they are here to educate the students if they're on the faculty side of the house, either in the classroom or in the laboratories or in all of that part of the academic enterprise. But then also those on the staff side of the house that are there to support our students in extracurricular activities, mental health, in the rec center, everything that happens that, when you educate an individual and you prepare that individual to go out into the world, either through career opportunities later on or through graduate school or professional school upon completing an undergraduate degree, everything that will help that student be successful in their next portion of their life. And what I've also learned is there's a lot of new programs here. And as provost, I oversee all those programs from a management board standpoint, but the vitality of it, the excitement of some of these programs that I had no idea what's going on at the beach right across the way in regards to research and those activities and connectivity with business and industry in the greater New Orleans area is just, the pulse of this institution is just beating quickly, and it's exciting to see that. So it's been wonderful to reconnect with the university, to also understand the commitment of its folks that remain in place, but all of this new vibrancy that I hope is capitalized to even grow this institution to the next level.
That's wonderful. So as we close our conversation, do you have any last words for our viewers?
I tell you what, if you are looking at furthering your education, either at the undergraduate and graduate level or graduate level, the University of New Orleans, you have got to really look at it as a contender. Again, the faculty and staff are here to support you in every way, shape, and form. And I believe that this institution is committed to the success of anybody that is considering enrolling here. And of course, if you do enroll, you will be just greeted with a community that will be here to support you. And look, I did it, and you can too.
Great. Thank you so much, President O'Rourke.
My pleasure.